Hi guys, welcome to the another video of Excel tutorial. Today we are going to discuss lead time variability, how you can calculate it, what is the impact of it on the safety stock. You can also check ranking of your supplier as per their lead time variability. You can also score them like whether the supplier is erratic, acceptable or in a stable condition. You can check the spread of their lead time deliveries and can see who is more consistent and how the safety stock is driven by this variability against each supplier and your average actual lead time across your portfolio you can review. We will also be discussing the measures to reduce the lead time variability, and you can create a scenario in which you can check that if you are going to reduce your lead time variability by a certain percentage, then how much units you are going to get freed and how much reduction you are doing in each category. So let's start. So to start, first of all, we need to understand the concept. So what's the idea of this lead time variability? So here we are saying that two suppliers can share the same average lead time yet behave completely different because one deliver in 10 days every time and other swings between 4 and 22. Sometimes it is delivering in 4 days, sometimes it is delivering in 22 days, but the average he is maintaining around 10. So the second one forces you to hold far more safety stock to hit the same service level. So here the lead time are not consistent, so you are also not sure whether you are going to receive the material on a particular day. So you need to keep higher safety stock at any point of time where the variability is higher. So the lead time variability is directly connected with your safety stock. In this sheet, what we are tracking? For each supplier item, we log promised versus actual lead time per order and then compute the mean, standard deviation, coefficient of variation, and on time performance over a rolling window. So we are using some statistic parameter. Let us discuss that. One is the mean, so it is the average actual lead time in days. It feeds the cycle stock portion of reorder point, as we know that reorder point is equal to the mean of the demand multiplied by the mean of the lead time. The second thing is standard deviation. The dispersion of the lead time around the mean is a standard deviation, correct? So this is the single most important input to the safety stock. It captures the supply side uncertainty. By this value, you get to know that how much is the variability, and higher the variability, higher the safety stock, and higher the capital stuck in maintaining the safety stock. Then coefficient of variation. So coefficient of variation is nothing but standard deviation divided by the mean. It is a unitless variability score that lets you compare it to a small data point against a larger data point. As a thumb rule, we usually say that coefficient of variance is less than 25%. Then you usually see it as a stable supplier. And if it is more than 0.5, then it is called as erratic. Now come to the lead time bias. So bias is nothing, it's just mean of actual minus promised. If the bias is positive, it means your supplier chronically late. It is consistently delivering late. You can use this number in order to negotiate your contract as well, because you can ask that because you are not reliable, either you can get away from that supplier or anything else. So now we are going to discuss that how these are connected with the safety stock formula. So if your lead time is variable, then the safety stock formula is like this. And if your lead time is stable, then your safety stock formula is like this. So as you can see that the demand variability increases the size of safety stock. So what do you usually look for? You want to reduce the lead time variability so that you can trim down your safety stock and free your capital involved in it. So what are the consequences if you are having a higher lead time variability, and what would be done if you make it half? So if you half the lead time variability through supplier improvement, it can cut the safety stock materially. It will free the working capital while holding service at the same level, and this tracker quantifies that level per supplier that we will be checking. Now come to the reliability scoring. So we are giving reliability scoring by two things. One is the variability score. So each supplier item gets a CV based grade like stable, acceptable, watch, or erratic. Stable is something which is less than 25%, which we have talked here. Now something is acceptable, which is from 15% to 25%. And if something is more than 25% and less than 0.5, then you need to watch it. And more than 0.5, it is erratic. So erratic suppliers are the priority list for the development or the dual sourcing, so that you can reduce the variability of your lead time. Now come to the on time percent. So on time percent is share of orders delivered on or before promise, and we usually pair it with the coefficient of variance to separate slow but predictable from fast but wild. There's some instruction regarding this Excel workbook you can go through. So let's start how we can calculate the lead time variability, how we can identify which supplier is in fault, and how to improve it. So the basic input data is the order log. So in the order log, you need to write that what's the PO number. Usually you get it from any ERP dump. What was the order date? Which supplier you cut the PO for, and for which item, what was the promised lead time, and what is the actual lead time, and this is the receipt date whenever you have received this particular PO. Now you can calculate what is the lead time variance. It's just the difference of these two. Then you can check whether it is on time or not. Because it is delayed means lead time variance is in positive, so it is not on time. Now we are classifying this order in terms of late, slightly delay, on time. So slightly delay is something where we are saying that there is a 15% change between promised lead time to the actual lead time. So you can see that in this case only 1 day delay, so that way it is slightly delay. but here it is 3 days delay. So it is saying that it is quite late. Now come to the analysis part of it. So this is the input date on which we are going to perform our analysis. So in the lead time analysis window, what we are going to do, we will be writing down all the suppliers, and these suppliers are from our order logs, then the item against it, and automatically this particular column calculates that how many order were there from the supplier for this item, what was the promised lead time. Then we are going to calculate the mean from the order log, okay, and then the standard deviation as well. Now we are calculating the CV. So CV is nothing, just mean divided by standard deviation. We are also calculating what is your minimum lead time, what is your maximum lead time, so that we can calculate the lead time bias as well. Apart from it, we are also calculating automatically what is the on time percentage from the order logs. Now we are giving the score for the supplier against this item by keeping these two thresholds. So what are these thresholds? We are saying that there's a watch threshold if something is greater than 25%, and there is an erratic threshold where something is greater than 45%. And this we are talking about CV. So if you see here, it is around 0.1, then it is stable, and something from 0.15 to 0.25, it is acceptable. Then from 25 to 45, it is watch. Right now I cannot see anything watch. Let me just change this number to, let's say, 15. Yeah, I can have the things like watch. So you can play with this Excel workbook and you can check that, okay, at what threshold which supplier move into which category, okay. And if your CV is more than 0.45, then your supplier is erratic and that requires special consideration. After calculating all of these things, you will be calculating the average daily demand. So what is the average daily demand? It's the average demand of that item against that supplier, so that you can calculate the safety stock. Safety stock is nothing, you know that it is the Z score multiplied by a standard deviation and your average daily demand. So you will get the safety stock, which is this one. Yeah, so reorder point is nothing, it's just average daily demand multiplied by your mean of lead time plus safety stock. So this is how you can calculate safety stock and the reorder point against each supplier item as per their lead time variability, and you will also get the reliability score of each supplier. You will get to know that the higher CV supplier are bringing higher safety stock as well, which in turn is impacting your reorder point level too. So once you have calculated all of these KPIs, you can create a dashboard like this in which you can say that at a portfolio level, your average CV is around 0.19, your average on time is 47%, your total safety stock unit is 5982, which is this one, correct? Now it automatically check that what is the most variable lead time supplier, which is Delta Fastener in this case, and how many erratic supplier you have right now, which require special attention. Then you can have this variability ranking from the same sheet, highest variability and 8 is the lowest variability. You can see their spread across their mean for their lead time in terms of days, and then you can check that which supplier is having highest safety stock. You can check in this, it is the Delta Fasteners, correct? So because it is having high CV, even the high average daily demand as well, but yeah, this is erratically high because of their variability. So you can see that thing clearly in these visual graphs, and here we can see that our lead time more or less remain constant across the year. So this is how you can create your lead time variability dashboard. And if you able to improve your lead time variability by talking to your supplier, renegotiating your contract, or move to the dual sourcing or a better supplier, then you can also check the scenario in which you can check that how much money you are going to save if your supplier is agree to reduce the variability by 30% or 40%. In this case, let's say I'm targeting there is a reduction of lead time variability by 30%. So for that item in that location, this is my mean lead time, this is my standard deviation of the lead time, this is my daily demand. So at 90% of the service level, this is my safety stock. At 95%, it is 286, and for the 99%, it is 404. Here we are saying that if you have improved the lead time variability by 30%, then what will be your new safety stock? So here you can check that I am improving my lead time variability by 30%. So my new safety stock is 200. And if I compare it that how many units I have freed from the safety stock by reducing the 30% in the lead time, it is 86 units. So total units against each of the supplier are 1796, and how much the new improved safety stock are is 4186 against the 5982. So you can see that how many safety stock freed is 1796, and what is the current buffer at 95%, which is 5982, and reduction is around 30% if you compare these two. Okay, so now you can also check against each supplier how much your safety stock has improved. Then let's say earlier for the Delta one, it was like this, but now it has improved to this one. So just 30% reduction in the lead time variability can bring you this much saving in terms of safety stock and your working capital. So this is how you can create scenarios, do the scenario analysis, and bring up numbers on the table that how much a particular improvement initiative bring you value. If you want this Excel, I am adding the link of this Excel in the description at a very minimal price. You can buy it and support this channel. You can also suggest any topic which you want us to cover, we would be happy to take that. Thanks for watching this video. Please do like, share and subscribe and keep optimizing. Thank you.